going to marry.
Yeah. In fact, it may well already have happened by this time next week. Who knows? Right, so that's our next week's programme. What are we going to do next after the travel?
Well, I think we should do Jack and Jill because I'd like to get it out of my system.
Mark has paid £12 odd to go and see
Yeah, I
this.
should say, I think £9 of it was the ticket and £3 of it was the bucket,
Sweets.
the bucket o' Coke or whatever it is. Here's the ticket. Look, I've got it. Yeah, there it is. So the price of the ticket was £8.90, and I should say that as I said, the staff were very nice and very efficient. And I walked down the corridor to the screen, which was nice and clean, and I used the facilities. They were in very good order. You know, I did leave them as I'd like others to find them.
Yes.
And then I found my way to my seat. There was nobody else in the screening room, so that was great. And the image was projected perfectly onto the screen, and the film started.
What was the
time.
ratio?
It was 1:85, I think.
Okay.
And so everything worked perfectly fine from beginning to end, and there was nobody else in the cinema to bother me or to kick the back of my chair. And I didn't have my phone on. I turned it off because I complied with the rules of conduct. And that's it as far as the good stuff is concerned. The bad stuff is this. So the thing about Adam Sandler, and I know how much, what people want me to do is go off and one about how terrible. I mean, the film is unspeakably bad. It is. There's no point in gilding. That's what it is. It's just terrible. I didn't laugh once in the whole film. There was one moment that I might have laughed, but I'd seen the gag already in the trailer, so the gag wasn't funny. However, every time I go to see an Adam Sandler film, I have in the back of my mind that Adam Sandler made Punch Drunk Love. And anyone who makes Punch Drunk Love is not stupid. And also, in Punch Drunk Love, he's really good. And the thing that film did, which really worked for me, is that it took that kind of creepy quality that Adam Sandler has and did something interesting with it. And I remember talking afterwards to the director, Paul Thomas Anderson, and and saying, "Are you a fan of Adam Sandler's?" He said, "Yeah, I am." He said, "I do find his comedies funny." And I really? He said, "Yeah, I do. I like him." And I was saying that the thing you've done is you've brought out the other side, the dark side. You've done something really interesting. And I still think Punch Drunk Love is I can't just let go of Adam Sandler as a result of Punch Drunk Love, no matter how many terrible movies he makes. So I do this thing that I go in and I think, okay, they didn't press screen this film, so now we're going to play and see. It's fine, not a problem. There have been films which haven't been press screened. I mean, it's not necessarily the rule anymore that a film that isn't press screened is any worse than stuff that is press screened.
So why wouldn't they press screen it?
Well, I mean, clearly, in this case, it's because it's utter rubbish, and they know that nobody in their right mind is going to say anything nice about it whatsoever. That's fine. But there have been cases in which movies have been, pretty much shunned, either not properly screened or screened in very few places, that they haven't gone out of their way to make the film available for you to see. And yet, actually, when you see the film, it's much better than you thought. So you can't take it as a rule that just because a film wasn't widely press screened. I mean, it's possible they've had some press screenings of this. Certainly there wasn't a national pressure. But anyway, whatever. So I went in thinking, hey, it might be all right. The story is Adam Sandler is two people. He's identical twins, although you can't be identical because one of them's a boy, one of them's a girl. He's living this kind of upmarket life. He's Jack. Jill, his sister, comes to visit him. He can't get on with her. Everything's really difficult. They're having terrible... She's basically Adam Sandler in drag, and she has a sort of screechy relationship. And then he, being an advertising executive, is told that he has to get Al Pacino to advertise a product which is like a cappuccino, a frappuccino, so he has to get Al Pacino. And the next thing
That's an old Robin Williams joke.
It is. And the next thing you know, Al Pacino is in the movie. And you're going... But not just in the movie as a cameo, in the movie a lot as Al Pacino. This is a clip with Al Pacino in it, right?
Just think, Brooks.
Let it just float.
Okay. Can you do me a favor and not hold me like this?
All right, I'm just trying to show you.
I know.
All you got to do is make contact. That's all.
I feel like this is your game, and it's not my game. If you want to play my game, Hungry Hungry Hippo Saturday, do you have that here? Or do you guys...
That's coming. Je te lève ton sépier, je mets ton.
Je comprends pas.
Just throw it. But,
Oui.
okay. Come on, nobody here, pitcher. Nobody. We got him.
Oh! Oh my God! Oh my God! I am so sorry. I'm sure you have others, though.
You'd think it, but oddly enough, I don't.
And that's the gag. And that gag's in the trailer. That's the gag. It's a clip that what's broken is the Oscar. Okay? I've broken your Oscar. It's okay. I'm sure you'll have others. You'd think so. No. That's the gag. Okay? And it's almost
You didn't laugh at that.
No, I didn't. No, the first time I heard it in the trailer, I went, oh, that's funny. It's Al Pacino making a gag about being snubbed by the Oscars. But that's it. Okay. For the rest of the movie, as you heard from that, essentially what happens is Al Pacino falls for Adam Sandler in drag. Al Pacino as Al Pacino. And at the beginning of it, he's doing Shakespeare. Somebody's got a mobile phone in the audience. He has a go at them. He has a meltdown. He thinks he's got to save his career. He wants to do Man from the Mansion. He's going to do Don Quixote. He's going to research the role of Don Quixote. Therefore, he falls in love with somebody who's, blah. So he falls for Adam Sandler, and during the course of the movie, they actually directly reference Some Like It Hot, which is never a good idea. Don't reference Some Like It Hot. Just don't, because you're only going to look foolish by comparison. But I promise you, I went into this thinking, okay, there must be something in there that's quite funny, because Adam Sandler can be quite. I mean, Rob Schneider's not there. It's like it's an Adam Sandler. In fact, at one point there is a gag about Rob Schneider not being there. Somebody actually says, he says, "Oh, I've been hanging out with the movie star." Who? Rob Schneider. Somebody says, "Actually, I quite like Rob Schneider." Even that, by that point, didn't, because by that point I just had this thudding sort of migraine-like headache, because I had been sitting. When you're waiting to laugh, it's like waiting to sneeze. What happens is you feel like, when you laugh, there's a kind of release involved in it. Like when you cough, or when you hiccup, there is some kind of physical relief in it. I think, okay, the movie's 90 minutes long, got Al Pacino in it. There's a gag in the trailer that was passingly funny. It's not possible to go through the whole length of the movie without there being one laugh at all. I mean, nothing at all. It's not possible. So at some point, I'm going to get to laugh. So what I experienced was 90 minutes of waiting to sneeze. That tickle in the back of your throat. You think, do you do that thing when if you're about to sneeze, you have to tell everyone you're about to sneeze, because otherwise you might surprise them?
Yeah, well, if you look at the sun or look at the light, then you sneeze. That's the thing that triggers it.
What?
If you're waiting to sneeze, if you feel a sneeze coming on and you need to bring it on very fast, look at the light.
Okay, well, if there had been a light in the cinema to look at...
I'm not the only one that does that.
Fine, well, I've never heard that before. I spent the whole movie waiting to laugh. Remember that movie, Waiting to Exhale? I felt like that. And as I wasn't laughing, I started to tense up and I started to get this really bad cramp in my neck. I started to realise that what I was experiencing was that awful sort of claustrophobic feeling when you're desperate, you're absolutely desperate for the movie to do the one thing it's meant to do, which is to make you go, that release of, and you don't. And the more you don't, the more you become like somebody crawling along in an arid, just desperate for anything. Somebody being hit on the head with a, with the wheel of fortune. Somebody falling over. A scene in which somebody sits in a loo and has a conversation with their other self on the other side of it, with fart noises going on. I mean, it's a diarrhea scene, right? That's the comic highlight. Adam Sandler talking to himself through a toilet wall to the sound of diarrhea, whilst Al Pacino goes hoo-ha, 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 and makes a joke about the fact that he hasn't got enough Oscars. There has to be a laugh in there. There really has to be. It's not possible for the... And there was nothing. And at the end, there was a guy, the usher, was standing there waiting. It was okay, and I walked out of the cinema on my own, and he looked at me, and he went, "All right," and I went, "All right," and we both knew what had happened in that cinema.
What did you
Nothing had happened at all.
I thought you'd had a relationship with the
Nothing
usher.
at all had happened.
You don't need to be ushed when there's only you there anyway.
I wanted to laugh.
Anyway,
insufficient laughter is
doesn't
grounds
matter.
for divorce.
Esther Harvey enjoyed that rant, which you said we weren't going to get.
It wasn't a rant.
It wasn't.
No, it was. But I do mean that that thing when you really want to. And we've just talked about this, and you said it's just disappointment. It's more than disappointment. It is like that thing when you want to cough, when you want to. It is.
I don't think
you
I've
come
had
out.
that.
Have you not? Have you never seen a comedy when you've never laughed at all?
Oh yeah.
Oh right, but you haven't. You just sit there and getting bored.
Yes.
Okay.
And disappointed.
Okay.
But I don't have a physical kind of sense of revulsion.
Don't you?
No.
Okay. All right. Fine. All right. Just me then. I do, and I. At some point, Adam Sandler will do something good again.
Esther says, I thought Mark was going to cry at one point, but I do love.
I felt like that.
I do love the Shawshank-esque relationship with the usher.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Very dodgy.
No, it's not, because he honestly, he must have been standing there in hearing the sound of no one laughing, hearing the sound of one hand clapping.
There you go. Mark Saffron just sent a request to Like a Virgin to Phoenix FM in West Yorkshire with the dedication "Hello to Jason Isaacs," and they just played it and they said that dedication.
Fantastic.
It's time to take over the airwaves, really.
Yeah.